Hey everybody, today we'll be making a tent in honor of summer, an origami tent of my design. It starts from a square. If you don't have a square piece of paper, you can take two letter size, for example, and lay one like this and one like this, and match up the corner and the edges, and then trim off this piece here, and you'll be left with a square here. But for this demonstration, I'll be starting with a square sheet of kami or origami paper that's color on one side and white on the other. So to begin, we'll start with the white side facing up and fold side to side or edge to edge. And unfold. And so here's our crease. And now we're going to bring the bottom edge to the top edge and make just a little pinch mark that crosses that crease we made in the first step. So bottom edge to top, pinch mark, and release. Our next step is now to bring the bottom edge to the intersection of this vertical crease and the pinch mark. So we'll bring it right up to there, crease all the way across, turn it around, and do the same thing on the other edge. And now open it back up again. Notice now we have a valley crease on this right down the middle. We're going to change that valley to a mountain. So to do that, simply turn it over and fold it in half along the existing crease. And now the color is on the inside and the white is on the outside, and our folded edge is on the left. The open edge or the raw edges are on the right. So now we have these two creases here, top and bottom. We're going to go ahead and fold the corner, the lower corner, starting at the end point of this crease and bringing it right up to that crease, 45-degree angle. And then lift it up. And now what we're going to do is called a squash fold. And it's symmetrical, so it's going to look the same on both sides. Taking our finger, we just press right down along this center and crease it, align this crease with this part, with the split between the two colored portions at the bottom. And now we have a triangle flap on top and two little triangles underneath. Next, we're going to take these short edges and bring them to the center, one on one side and one on the other. Here's one, and here's the other. These are preparation creases. Okay, now we're going to open these flaps that we just made. And there is going to be a new crease that we're going to enter that connects these two creases here. So lifting up this single raw edge, connecting those two creases, it's going to look like it's going to rip, but we're not going to let it. We're going to very gently flatten from the side on the left and on the right, flatten the flap, creating a little pointy flap in the middle. And once it's there, you can kind of adjust it. And this is called a petal fold in traditional origami. And now we're going to turn it around and do the same from the other corner. Take the corner up to the crease and give it a good crease here. Now turn it and lift up the flap so it points up. away from the table. Now squash the flap here right down the center so that the crease aligns with the split at the bottom. And again, just as we did on the other flap, we're going to fold these two little flaps up, starting at the bottom, so that they meet in the middle. Then we're going to open those two flaps, and again, just as we did before, make a horizontal crease that connects the end points of those two creases. Lift up this flap and very gently flatten, starting at the bottom and working your way up toward the top on both sides. You might have to adjust things a little bit so that they don't crumple or rip, but it should lie flat in a little triangular flap here. All right, one more step before we continue, which is to swivel this flap structure all the way to the other side. You see here there's no crease, but here there is. We want to put a crease on the other side, so just swivel it over and flatten it like so. Swivel it around on this end too and flatten. So if we turn it over, it looks exactly the same. Now we're going to open up the whole model. And to do that, we might have to push these little triangle flaps open. Okay. Now we're going to fold the four corners, 1, 2, 3, 4, up to these horizontal creases. Here's one. Make a little adjustment there. There's one. Here's two. Turn it around and do the other two. 3. And 4. Okay. Looks like a giant stop sign. Now remember this vertical crease that went all the way across? It was a valley, then we made it a mountain. We're going to make it a valley again. So just fold it in half. Now this time the color's on the outside. And unfold. Now this is where it comes 3D. Lift up this flap here. There's no new creases. Everything is already here. And take this flap structure here. And as we push it around, keep this part tucked inside. Bring these 2 points, holding these 2 points, bring them together, like so. And this flap structure will automatically go inside because we've already folded it. Finally, when we've completed it, there it is. Same thing that was on the outside before, and now it's on the inside. And if we want, we can flatten it really well, crease it well so it stays inside. And if you look at it from this side, there's the front of our tent. Let's do it on the other side now. Fold this little flap up and tuck this part inside. Bring these 2 corners together. And as you do, this part of the model will go inside and tuck away into that petal fold that we made earlier, just like that. And flatten it. And then one more thing we can do to make it more rigid is to crease the sloping edges of the tent, front and back, and that'll give it more rigidity. 1, too. And we're almost done. We can stop here if we like, but we can also add tent flaps. So to do that, simply take the corner, and you can put it at any angle you like. I'll put it like this on one side, and you can fold them out or you can fold them in. It's up to you. And there's our tent. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great summer.